welcome back to another edition of Potluck, your everything and anything talk and entertainment TV show. My name is Laura Hartman, and I'm your host. Today we have two talented guests joining us who are from the John Champe Acapella group from John Champe High School in Aldie, Virginia. So please welcome to the show Jay Mankruckar and Andrew Kwon. Right, so welcome to the show.
Hi, Laura. Thank you so much for having us.
How are you guys doing?
Very good.
Great.
So I understand you started, or you're responsible for starting the acapella group at John Champe High School.
Yeah, so actually, yeah, I'm the founder and president, you could say, of the John Champe Acapella. And a brief history of how it started. So I was, actually I texted my friend Nick Karen, who couldn't be here today. He's the vice president. And so we both really like to sing, but we couldn't fit in the choir class into our schedule, class schedule. So we started talking. We were like, hey, I think we should really start a cappella because something that we both love to do. So we contacted our Miss Nave, who's the teacher and our choreographer for a cappella, and she was so enthusiastic about everything. She was like, yeah, and we formed auditions. We started coming up with concert and gigs, and it was great. It was great.
Oh, very cool, very cool. And so you're also involved. Are you secretary, or since you're president, vice president with the acapella group?
I'm only a member, but my reasons for joining is a lot more different because I do have a spot for a choir class. I'm taking advanced mixed. It's one of the 4 classes you can take with women's choir, advanced women's, advanced mixed, the one that I'm in, and jazz choir. And joining acapella club, it's very fun to see different people that aren't in choir classes coming into being able to sing and show what they have. Oh, sure. Okay. So is there a choir club? You have choir classes at your school, but is there a choir club? Like your acapella club?
There's not as much a club, but there are 4 choir classes, like he said. And so that's another reason that I actually started it, was because so many kids who like to sing couldn't fit it into their seven classes. You can only have so much, and couldn't fit it in. And so that was one of the main reasons, is people who love singing, who can sing, and they couldn't fit into their schedule.
Okay, so did you start this in the beginning of the school year, or did the idea come in through
we
midway?
Started it so I've had the idea for a few months before school started, and so in August is when it actually started picking up. We actually, Miss Nave, this was actually her first year at John Champe, so we had a new choir director, a new fine arts department, and so it was great, collaborating with everyone. So how did you get other kids to audition, or did you just say, hey, I know you sing well and you sing well, come on and
the word almost spread a bit, didn't it?
So we want to talk about the Club Expo. How'd you know? How'd you see it during lunch? During lunch,
yeah, I noticed the little acapella club in this Club Expo we had in our lunchroom. And I noticed it, and I kind of thought, it was like, that could be something of interest,
Did you perform in the cafeteria?
So this was before. No, we actually couldn't, because this was before everything had started. Me and Miss Nave, we met up. We made a little trifold poster board, and we set it up in the cafeteria, in one corner of the cafeteria, with all these big other clubs. We had FEA, we had the football team, the basketball team, all these big posters with, people looking. And we had a little acapella poster on the side with a little sign-up sheet. And but we were surprised to see. I came in at the end of the day, and the whole list was full of 40-some names wanting to audition.
Wow. So and how many people are in your actual group?
So there are 16 now.
There's 16, so you had to
cut from. It was tough. It was tough.
Okay. So where do you perform, or how often do you perform, if you do?
Performance isn't that frequent because we haven't had many chances to really get out there because the club is fairly young. So we've performed once, the Christmas, it was during the winter concert.
Yeah, winter concert.
Winter concert was one. And we also performed during a
Pier.
It was.
So we have a club in our school called Pier, which is bullying awareness, and so we actually performed for that club a song that was along the lines of bullying and self-confidence. So that was it was great, to get everyone together.
Sure.
Yeah, so it was.
Now, did you perform at the school, or did you find like some other location?
It was at the school.
It was at the school. Okay.
At the school, yeah.
So what are your plans to get this out there, to maybe start perform at other places?
Oh yeah, and that's kind of how our main goal is to move outside from our school. So our school is definitely a great place to perform, all the kids, but I want to, go move outside to the community, to South Riding, Aldie, maybe even Fairfax.
Okay.
And so,
you're in Loudoun County right now.
We are
right?
in Loudoun
So
County.
you want to be able to kind of mix.
Oh yeah.
Are there other schools like maybe in Fairfax County that have a cappella groups, or maybe there's like some competition? Do they have like competitions?
I'm not aware, but
yeah, Acapella is fairly it's new for high schools.
Okay, because I have a friend who was saying that like he's got, his friends have sons that are in acapella. So I thought maybe this was a more common thing, especially with like The Voice and different type of TV shows that really promote music.
So it is. It's common, but I feel like it's more common in college than it is in high school, and which is now it's right. Yeah, it's starting to come out more in high school because high schoolers are looking up to college campuses, and it's fun though.
Not even that, but acapella, it wasn't really too common in recent years, but because of social media and this one particular group on the internet, Pentatonics.
Okay.
I think it's because of that acapella is starting to really get
more
out
popular.
There.
Okay. Now let's get into the history of acapella. How did acapella start in the first place?
Well, acapella, back then instruments weren't too common. So what would happen is they would just sing with no instruments, and essentially that is what acapella is.
Okay. Well, yes, but like exactly when did it start?
Exactly the time frame, it's unsure, but probably around the 11th century?
Yeah, I would say 11. It is unsure because it used to be a more religious form of singing. So the Christian church would sing it in their churches, whereas the Romans would sing it in their churches.
Okay.
And so it was during that time, because it was old. It was older, and they couldn't afford many advanced instruments. So they thought that we can still produce the sounds that instruments make with our voices. So that's how it started.
It was the creative flair, and plus it was the Italians, I think, that came up with the actual name, acapella.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, it is of Italian origin, yeah.
Okay. Okay, great. So, what is your background in singing, or?
So I did take choir in middle school, but I guess that doesn't really. I'm more of you could call it a shower singer.
Okay.
I sing in the shower.
Okay.
But no, I never took professional singing lessons or anything. And so have you done any?
As far as my singing experience goes, it's not too long, because actually this is my first year of taking choir.
Okay.
But supposedly throughout my singing, because I'm also in a musical for my school.
Oh, nice.
And I've taken up one of the lead roles.
Okay.
And according to people, my voice sounds nice. So I've just been constantly pursuing it, and hopefully just to improve.
Okay. Now, do you have any desire or aspires to go further with your singing? Maybe like when you get to college and do a cappella there, then maybe something that you'll pursue as like a lifelong thing.
Oh yeah, definitely. My goal that I've always wanted from when I was young was to be in a college a cappella group, and I'll always sit up late nights watching YouTube videos of acapellas in college. And my cousin actually is in New York University's acapella team or club, and so they perform all around the East Coast, which I feel that's amazing. You get to travel and you get to do what you love. So it's great. I love it.
Now, do they have, I don't know why competitions come into mind, but do they have that on the college level?
Oh yeah, that's much more common in the college level than it is in the high school. So they usually colleges get together and they have competitions. Some are better than others, and at some extreme levels they even go for money. They win money, and so it's great. It's really nice.
Very cool. Now, are there any scholarships that are available for acapella?
Acapella in specifics, I'm not sure, but there's definitely music scholarships.
Right.
Music and fine arts scholarships.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's next for you guys?
So,
do you see because you started this group, do you see this like getting bigger and better? And
I see it. I'm a junior now, and next year I'm going to be a senior, so it is going to be my last year. But, rewind back to auditions. There's basically two viewpoints. I was in the audition room watching people sing, and he was the one singing.
Okay.
So it was just unbelievable to see 40 names on a list in front of a little trifold, which I was just amazed.
Yeah, totally unexpected.
Oh yeah, definitely. And so I was, it was the first time I've ever done anything like this. American Idol. I thought of myself as Simon. I thought I was the one watching people sing. Yeah. So it was great. It was. Wow.
So did you, with the people that did try out and didn't make it, did you kind of say, do this and come back next year and try out?
Oh yeah, definitely. We so Miss Nave, who is the actual choir director, she gave them a lot of feedback on how they can improve their singing and what they can do to. Acapella is a lot of how well you connect with the audience too. How well you move your body, how well you are. Yeah. So it's so she gave them tips and pointers on that as well.
Okay. So you kind of go by how the audience reacts to you?
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
How can you explain that more?
Well, when you're performing with an a cappella group, an audience, if you enjoy it, then the audience is going to enjoy it. So if you're moving and you're looking like you're having a good time, smiling, especially, that's a very big one, and really kind of taking on what your part is, then everyone's going to really enjoy the performance. But if you're kind of just standing there stiff, it looks awkward.
Right, so. And then the audience looks bored and they're falling asleep, maybe.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and that's we've had that happen a couple of times too, and where it was our first concert, and it was the first time we've ever all performed as a group, because we didn't really know each other before this, so we weren't really comfortable with each other.
Right.
So we come on stage and we're all just still and we're just singing. We'll have one soloist and the rest of us are backing up, and the audience is totally quiet and they have no idea what's going on. But then once we started to get into it, then the audience starts to, start clapping, start snapping, and perform a lot better. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Wow, very cool. So are you also a junior?
Oh, no, I'm a sophomore.
Oh, you're a sophomore?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. And are there any, since there are like a number of people that couldn't show up today, do you want to try to recognize them, or, or are there like, before we get into that, with a cappella, do you have like the typical soprano, alto, tenors, bass, all?
Oh,
that's true.
Definitely. He knows more about music than I do, but
sopranos tend to be the most common sort of singers out there. Lots of girls like to sing.
Yeah.
It's much more rare for guys to be out there singing. So we have a lot of sopranos and altos, which is another woman's sort of part. It's a lower range.
Yep.
Then we have tenors and basses. Tenors are the more higher pitched males, and basses, which are very rare to find.
Low.
They're also in the mix as well. And there's actually only, after next year, there's only 5 basses, including me.
Oh, yeah.
Going to be in our entire school, not just acapella club.
Wow.
So yeah, as far as we know, basses are definitely the hardest. And that was also another topic we talked about during the audition process, is we only had 3 or 4 males audition. And so, we were kind of worried, if not enough male basses audition, how are we going to support the lower, the bass of the song?
Right.
So
it all worked out.
Oh yeah, it all worked out in the end.
How did Sam get auditioned?
Oh yes, Sam.
He's our beatboxer.
Oh definitely, Sam is our beatboxer.
What's a beat? Is that somebody who makes like little weird sounds?
Yeah, but it definitely it helps with the rhythm, because acapella.
Oh, so they do like
yeah.
More modern acapellas tend to start using beatboxers, incorporating them into their music. And because a lot of modern songs have heavy beats and implemented into the music, it's a very nice flair to add to it.
So do you do a lot of modern songs, and you don't do?
Oh yeah.
Do you like what's out there? Do you ever do any like classical or contemporary or songs, musical type songs, or?
We tend to focus on like the new ones, top 40 hits that you hear on the radio every day. But we have, Christmas winter concert, we did an older song, which was "All I Want for Christmas," Mariah Carey.
Sure.
And then I think definitely the 90s is probably as far as back as we go.
Okay.
Just because I don't know how. Correct me if I'm wrong, but the acapella is more. While it did start in the olden days,
sure.
Today it's evolved to be more of a hip thing, as you know, you could call it.
So so at colleges they're doing the more modern songs,
right? Definitely.
Than compared to like the past.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, definitely, for sure.
It's definitely more popular with the younger people than it is with the older.
Right. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, since you take a choir class, do you find that doing a cappella helps your choir class and vice versa? Does one help the other?
I think that's definitely true, because one has a hand with another and vice versa, of course. And it improves my singing. I have more opportunities to sing, and I can work with different kinds of people, so it helps my versatility.
Okay. So what is the musical that you're in? That you're going to be performing in?
Oh, the musical. It's a musical called Sideshow.
Sideshow, okay.
And it's about these two sisters that are conjoined twins.
Oh, wow.
That are performers in those old freak show circuses. And the whole story is about them wanting to be normal, having a normal life, and escaping that. So it's a very interesting musical.
Oh, wow. And when does that come out?
It's actually coming out this week.
Oh, okay.
21st, 22nd, 23rd.
Okay. Very good. So what are some of the challenges that you guys face?
So I think, and that's, since we're new and we're young, I think the biggest challenge we faced is trying to, make a cappella stand out in our school more than the choir group. So set a cappella apart from the choir classes that are already there. And that's been tough, because when most people think about someone singing, they look and they tend to focus on the choir classes, whereas a cappella is more it's different. It's different than choir, because it's newer, and the people are not as good as singers than they are, or as trained as singers than they are songwriters.
That is true, because it's the styles of singing that could also be a very big difference. Because with the choir classes, we tend to focus more on the more classical songs. Things you'd hear in churches and chapels and all of that.
Sure.
And one example, my friend Caroline, she's a classical singer, and she's a very good opera singer. But the thing is, when she does contemporary music, like the more modern things you hear now on the radio, it's tougher for her to understand that kind of music, or be able to sing it, I should say. Because the style is different.
Now, are you required to like read music or anything when you're?
Oh yeah, for sure. So we do read vocal notes in music, and but more, it's not as much, like as he was saying, choir. It's not as much organized singing it's not as organized as choirs are. So we, instead of training our voices, we train our ears to listen to the music and listen to the notes and then match it, instead of reading the notes. So when you guys do get together to practice, is there a piano there to get that first note there to help you get started?
We practice in the choir room, of course. And we have a piano there. So Miss Nave, she helps us out with the music.
Oh, that's good.
For warm-ups, we always start with the piano, and then slowly we move away from the piano and just have our voices.
Do your own,
We focus on the songs that we're practicing and all that.
Now, how often do you practice, or do you practice every day? Is this a club that goes throughout the year, or is it just half a year, or what?
So it is throughout the year, which is the first year. So it is. So in September we started, and we meet Friday mornings for about an hour-ish. An hour, and
before school starts.
Before school starts So it's tough to get everybody to show up.
Too.
It's about 7, 8 a.m. So it is tough, but it's something we all love to do. So it's not. So waking up isn't hard. It's I get to sing early in the morning, which is definitely something.
And it probably wakes you up.
Oh yeah, So yeah.
Oh, what a beautiful morning.
Yeah.
So how did you? I mean, you said you had been thinking about this for for some time, and is this something that you, when you were in junior high, thought about, or just when you got to high school?
So so middle school or junior high, I took choir for a little bit, the first 2 years, but then I also play the violin. So I got more. So I started to lean away from choir and then focus more on the violin. But when I got to when I became a freshman in high school, I got exposed to so much more than just the instrumental part of music, that I saw like the 4 choirs that were performing. So I was thinking, like, I think making an acapella would be more beneficial for a lot.
Right. Now, do they do acapella in other countries, like in other languages?
I'm pretty sure that has to exist somewhere. I mean, of course, it's probably going to be in places, European countries. Probably.
European. I know University of Pennsylvania.
Okay.
They have so they call it Pen Masala, which is their all male, and it is an Indian a cappella group.
Oh, wow.
So they sing fusions of Western English songs with Indian songs, and so that was actually
cool.
and they'd have that at UC University of California, Berkeley. They have it there too, and so that was actually the first multicultural a cappella
group. Oh, wow.
And they also have, I think at Yale, they have a Chinese student. So that it's all Chinese students singing fusions of Chinese songs and English songs.
Okay. Now, do you guys know where you want to go to college and?
So I do. I want to go to the University of Virginia.
Okay.
And they have an a cappella program there. Not program, but a club.
Sure.
So that's something I'm really interested in.
Okay. Yeah. Have you gone down to visit there yet?
I have. I went the spring break, and I saw them. They had a little performance that they set up for their prospective students, and that's when I knew. I was like, "That's where I want to go."
Did you tell them that you started this
definitely.
Good?
Yeah. I let them know, and they're
okay. Well, I'm sure that looks good on you.
I hope. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because that's a good school. How about you?
Hopefully, I can make it into Virginia Tech or a college that focuses on engineering.
Okay.
Because
sure.
In the future, I want to get into electrical engineering.
Okay.
And hopefully that's something that'll work out in the future.
And does Virginia Tech have an a cappella group?
Virginia Tech? I'm not sure if they have an a cappella group.
Maybe you might have to start one.
I mean, that's definitely a possibility.
If you wanted to keep singing, otherwise, I understand.
I'm singing something I don't want to stop.
Yeah.
I could always have it on the side, but
yeah.
as my sort of main sort of directive, I don't think that would be the case, but I definitely don't want to lose that part of my life.
Sure. Now, has Miss Nave ever thought about maybe teaching a cappella as a class, like in the future?
Actually, what happened is that she's talked about this before in my classes, and she was thinking about for advanced mix, I think it was, that she can have some classes where the men and the girls, or the women, they could split off into the groups, and you have little men a cappella sort of time and women a cappellas within the advanced mixed. So some classes we would have that going on. It's a little rough detail for now, but it's something we're trying to implement in the future.
Okay. Wow.
And I believe jazz choir, I think, uses a lot of a cappella techniques. So we do have a jazz choir class in our school, which is similar to a cappella in the sense that they sing newer songs and more quick, faster songs than more contemporary music.
The jazz
choir.
Does? They don't sing like, the typical traditional jazz songs that they do.
I'm not entirely sure what specific music they really do focus on.
Okay.
But jazz choir, the main focus is being able to fuse together. So that way the voices really blend.
Okay.
And that creates that sort of unification in the music.
Sure. Now, when you guys practice, do you ever record yourself so you can hear how you sound?
So
after the fact?
We've done that a couple times.
We have, that for sure, and that's that's a very good technique that a lot of musicians use. Is they sing, they record themselves, and then they play back to check where they can make some, improvements and stuff like that.
Okay. Now, again, is there anybody that you want to? We're running low on time, but is there anybody that you want to give a shout out to or thank you to, Miss Nave or other people that weren't able to come here?
A huge.
Do you want to mention some names?
I think definitely a huge thank you to Miss Nave for being so involved in this, and she's just so enthusiastic about this.
She's always ready to go,
and she's just always there on time.
That's important. For teachers to to really be there for students and help them pursue dreams if this is a dream that you want. So
she's been great with us, and it's awesome.
And
any other shout
Students.
People.
Kendrick for sure. Kendrick. Kendrick's one of our members, and she's also involved in 2 choir classes.
Oh, wow.
And she is one of our most talented members, for sure.
Okay, what's her last name?
Kendrick Ryan.
Kendrick Ryan, okay, give a shout out to her.
Oh, yeah, for sure, Kendrick. She's, a great singer, and I think musician overall. She plays the guitar, and...
She composes her own music as well.
Oh, yeah,
very good. Oh, very nice. Do you guys have a website?
So we do not have a website yet, but we do have a Twitter.
Okay.
JCHS Acapella.
Okay.
And so we run that. I run the account, and that's the best way to find out about our concerts and our gigs and stuff like that.
Okay. So. And is there anything on the school website about?
We do have on the John Champe website. There's a tab for fine arts, and under that tab is JCHS Acapella.
Okay.
So that's also a great way to find out about what we're doing.
Right. Yeah, and you definitely want to make sure you get your bases in for the next year.
Oh, yeah,
the next year's the crown.
Yep.
And make it really popular, right?
Definitely.
So you don't have a Facebook page or?
Not yet, but I think I feel like Facebook is a great way
have,
to.
Like, techies in your acapella group that can zip up a website.
I feel like I'm the techie in the acapella group, and I feel like Facebook is a great way to interact, and I'll definitely look into that for sure.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully we'll bring you back for our Christmas show. I hope.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That'd be get your whole group there.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It was great meeting you guys.
Thank you so much.
And if you're just tuning in now, make sure you catch us on the web at www.potluck-online.org, and we'll see you next time. All right.